The meeting of the Committee on Legislation, Rules, and Policies of the Board of School Directors will please come to order. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Director Garcia.
Present.
Director Gokul Gandhi.
Here.
Director Jackson.
Present.
Director Herndon.
Here.
Chair Zomber.
Present.
That's 5 present. We have a quorum.
The Pledge of Allegiance was recited at the previous meeting. This meeting is being conducted from the Central Services Building. This meeting may also be accessed via live stream on the MPS website and on the MPS YouTube stream, the links to which may be found on the MPS website on the broadcast page. Before we begin tonight's meeting, we have a short announcement regarding interpretation services for the Spanish-speaking members of our audience.
Buenas tardes y bienvenidos a la Junta de la Mesa Directiva de las Escuelas Públicas de Milwaukee. Si desea escuchar esta reunión en español, por favor llame al 312-626-6799 e introduzca el número de reunión 832-0725-4267, seguido por el símbolo de número. Luego, introduzca el código 883149, seguido por el símbolo de número. Nuevamente, para escuchar esta reunión en español, llame al 312-626-6799 e introduzca el número de reunión 832-0725-4267, seguido por el símbolo de número. Luego, introduzca el código 883149, seguido por el símbolo de número.
For each of our items of business, we will hold a discussion and public hearing. If you wish to speak, please fill out a speaker slip and bring it to our Secretary, Dr. Owen Moore. The committee will accept public comments on tonight's agenda items. Speakers may only address the item for which they have registered. Questions from the public may not be answered during the public comment period. Following public comment, the committee will begin its discussions and no additional comments will be accepted. When you are called upon to speak, please state your name and spell your last name for the record. For the sake of fairness and to give everyone a chance to speak, the chair reserves the right to limit the length of time allowed to any one speaker. Written testimony will be accepted for transmittal to the board. Send this testimony to the Office of Board Governance, P.O. Box 2181, Milwaukee, Wisconsin 53201, or fax to 414-475-8071, or email it to governance@milwaukee.k12.wi.us. Just as a reminder, Robert's Rules of Order dictates that all comments, questions, and requests should be directed to the chair of the committee, who will determine the most efficient way to address them. For the safety of all and to ensure the good order of the meeting, harassment or intimidation tactics of any kind will not be tolerated. Anyone who engages in such harassing or intimidating words or actions will immediately be asked to cease. If such behavior continues, a recess will be called and the offending parties will be removed from the meeting. Anyone ejected from the meeting may continue to listen to the meeting or access the agenda items online. However, the individual will not be allowed to rejoin the meeting. Also, no one other than members of the board, designated staff, and those who have been invited to present or participate in items of business will be allowed on stage before, during, or after meetings of the board and its committees. Finally, for our listening audience, if you wish to access this evening's agenda items and attachments online, you may do so by visiting the meetings, agendas, and minutes page of the MPS website. Now let's begin. Madam Secretary, item 1.
Madam Chair, item 1 is action on a request to approve revisions to Administrative Policy 7.19, Student-Initiated Student Groups. The recommendation is that the Milwaukee Board of School Directors approve the revisions to Administrative Policy 7.19, Student-Initiated Groups, as indicated in the attachments to this item.
Would the administration please present the item?
Chair Zomber, members of the committee, Eduardo Galvan, Interim Superintendent, Board Governance Policy 2.11. Every 5th year, the board and its designees shall revisit all of its policies, rules, and procedures to determine their coherence and appropriateness to the present mission of the district. This evening, the administration will request your approval of 3 policies as listed on the agenda. As each item is called, I will turn it over to the presenter of the item to share key information on the policy and to take any questions you may have. The presenter of our first policy this evening is Dr. John Hill for Policy 7.19, Student-Initiated Student Groups. Thank you, Dr. Hill.
Chair Zambor, members of the committee, Dr. John Hill, Director of College Career Readiness. Revisions to Administrative Policy 7.19, Student-Initiated Groups, consist of minor revisions to terminology and school structures. Basically, when this policy was written, MPS was in more traditional school structures, so the policy was revised to include some of our 6-12, K-12 schools. And you can see the changes. We replaced non-secondary with K-8, and we replaced secondary with 9-12. Thank you.
Thank you for that explanation. Madam Chair, do we have any members of the public who wish to make comments or ask questions? I'm
do
sorry,
not.
make comments.
We do not.
Okay, thank you. Do committee members wish to make comments or ask questions? No? What's the pleasure of the committee? Director Garcia.
I move that we accept the recommendation to approve revisions to Administrative Policy 7.19, Student-Initiated Student Groups.
Will the secretary please call the roll?
On Director Garcia's motion to approve revisions to Administrative Policy 7.19, Student-Initiated Student Groups, Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Gokul Gandhi.
Aye.
Director Jackson.
Aye.
Director Herndon.
Aye.
Chair Zomber.
Aye.
That's 5 ayes, the motion passes.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, next item, please.
Item 2 is action on a request to approve revisions to Administrative Policy 7.20, Student Publications. The recommendation is that the Milwaukee Board of School Directors approve the revisions to Administrative Policy 7.20, Student Publications, as indicated in the attachments to this item.
Would the administration please present the item?
Chair Zambor, members of the committee, the presenter of Policy 7.20, Student Publications, is Dr. John Hill. Thank you. Dr. Hill.
Chair Zambor, members of the committee, Dr. John Hill, Director of College Career Readiness. I'm here to present the revisions to Administrative Policy 7.20, Student Publications. The revisions consist of some minor revisions in terminology. If you look, we did update some of the terminology to reflect social media. When this was written, that did not exist. So if you have any questions, we're happy to answer them.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, do any members of the public wish to make comments?
They do not.
Okay. Do committee members wish to make comments or ask questions? Director Gokul Gandhi.
I move approval on the revisions to Administrative Policy 7.20, Student Publications.
Okay. Will the secretary please call the roll?
On Director Gokul Gandhi's motion to approve revisions to Administrative Policy 7.20, Student Publications, Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Gokul Gandhi.
Aye.
Director Jackson.
Aye.
Director Herndon.
Aye.
Chair Zomber.
Aye.
That's 5 ayes, the motion passes.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, next item, please.
Madam Chair, item 3 is action on a request to approve revisions to Administrative Policy 7.21, Student Contests and Performances. The recommendation is that the Milwaukee Board of School Directors approve the revisions to Administrative Policy and Administrative Procedure 7.21, Student Contests and Performances, as indicated in the attachments to this item.
Would the administration please present the item?
Chair Zambor, members of the committee, the presenter of Policy 7.21, Student Contests and Performances, is Dr. John Hill. Thank you, Dr. Hill.
Chair Zambor, members of the committee, Dr. John Hill, Director of College Career Readiness. Tonight, presenting revisions to Administrative Policy and Procedure 7.21, Student Contests and Performances. The revisions to the policy and procedure consist of minor revisions to terminology to provide clarity. If we look at Administrative Policy 7.21, you can see we added district leadership to reflect the fact that some contests and performances are led by district personnel. And in Administrative Procedure 7.21, again, we added district leadership, again, to reflect that some contests and performances are led by district-level personnel. We also provided a little additional clarity around how the copy of a contract for a musical should be retained, and clarity around requesting permission for use of material from a publisher. With that, if you have any questions, we're happy to answer them.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, do any members of the public wish to make comments?
They do not.
Do committee members wish to make comments or ask questions? Director Gokul Gandhi?
I move approval of Administrative Policy 7.21, student contests and performances.
Will the secretary please call the roll?
On Director Gokul Gandhi's motion to approve revisions to Administrative Policy 7.21, student contests and performances, Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Gokul Gandhi.
Aye.
Director Jackson.
Aye.
Director Hernan.
Aye.
Chair Zomber.
Aye.
That's 5 ayes, the motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next item, please.
Madam Chair, that was the last item on this meeting's agenda.
Okay, thank you. This meeting's adjourned, and as a reminder, a special meeting of the board will begin shortly after this meeting.